Hi, this is Scott Garibay. Today we're going to talk about Andrew Yang and Nancy Pelosi's official impeachment inquiry. All right, so right out of the gate, the biggest question that stands here is, does this matter, right? And here's why, because here's where we've been before. Donald Trump tax evasion, impeachment. Oh, it didn't stick. Donald Trump selfish real estate deal, impeachment. Oh, it didn't stick. Donald Trump, here's the Mueller report, impeachment. Oh, it didn't stick, right? And it's Tuesday. Donald Trump ordered a sausage pizza, impeachment. Oh, it didn't stick, right? So does this matter? Is this one going to stick, right? Is this a distraction from what the Democrats really need to be worried about, or is this the real deal? Do we have some juice to actually move forward with impeachment and get this thing done, right? Well, I'm going to talk about that today. Let's talk about it. And of course, we're going to look at the entire thing through the filter of Andrew Yang and what it means for Andrew Yang. Now, why should we be worried about Andrew Yang in the middle of impeachment? Well, Yang's world, party time, excellent. It's Yang's world, man. That's all that matters, is how does this impact Andrew Yang and his absolutely freight train momentum toward putting his butt in the seat in the Oval Office, right? That's what matters, right? But let's talk about Nancy Pelosi's official, right, impeachment inquiry, right? Now, I ain't going to bury the lead. This doesn't matter. And I'm going to give you 15 reasons why this doesn't matter. Let's get into it, all right? I got to set myself a mnemonic here to hit all my points. All right, my mnemonic is a flag-draped LGM, that's a little green man, swatting with a Colleen McCullough novel, a Wolf Biden who's wearing a Flavor Flav clock. All right, let's get into this. Flavor Flav clock, timing. The timing on this is horrendous, all right? So let's talk about Nancy Pelosi for a minute. So, okay, this I'm going to be laughing a lot during this, and the reason why is when you're faced with these dramatic shifts and these dramatic changes, all you could do is laugh or cry, and I ugly cry. So I'm just gonna give you my laughter. Oh my gosh, Nancy Pelosi, holy cows, right? So she's had a meat thermometer for the past 2 years, right? And she's been going, how many House Democrats support impeachment? 30? No. She sticks the meat thermometer in, right, to the impeachment turkey. And she's like, 30 House Democrats? No, that's not good. Comes back, sticks the meat thermometer in. 60 House Democrats support impeachment. No, that's not good. Comes back, sticks the meat thermometer in. 90 House Democrats support impeachment. No. So yesterday she goes in and she sticks the meat thermometer in, and she goes 170 Democrats support impeachment. Ding. Impeachment's ready. Ding! Impeachment's ready. This ain't that's how you cook a turkey. That's not how you decide if it's in time for impeachment. The timing is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous, right? And Nancy Pelosi, let's just call it what it is, right? If you're thinking Nancy Pelosi is going to be your hero, I want to point you back to Robert Mueller, who really was not your hero on impeachment, right? It did not matter. It did not matter, right? It didn't matter, right? And the reality is, okay, so let's take this one step at a time, all right? Oh my gosh, this is such a mess, right? So, flag draped. This is completely political. This is so political on the part of the Democrats. And the Americans are going to be, I smell political motivation in your impeachment, right? And they're 100% right. You're 14 months out from the next election, and you're like, and the reality, and you're like, oh, now it's really time for us to get serious about this impeachment. This is a really big deal, right? It's totally politically motivated, right? And the Democrats do not care about what they're saying, right? Here's a good example. I couldn't believe there's so much to laugh about this whole thing. There were Democrats yesterday saying he is not upholding his constitutional duty. House Democrats talking about constitutional duty? House Democrats use the Constitution to wipe their butt, right? House Democrats do not care about the Constitution, right? It's a living document. They do not care about the original text, and they don't really care about what it says. They're like, hey, the Constitution's a living document. We can let it say whatever we want to say, whatever cool new modern idea we have for the nation. We can find the language for it in this living document, which is the Constitution. That door swings two ways, right? Trump can come right back at you and go, living document. It says right here, I could talk to the person I talked to. I didn't even define what the issue is, right? I did the math. I did the research. I'm gonna define exactly what the issue is for you now. Let's do it, right? So I'm interrupting my reasons why this doesn't matter to actually define the accusation leveled at Trump, right? So I did my research. This is what I understand to be the accusation against Donald Trump. So right now, the House Democrats and Nancy Pelosi are saying, okay, President Donald Trump, we suspect that you pressured Ukraine leader Volodymyr Zelensky to open a corruption investigation against Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. And when he did not acquiesce to your request, you told your top aides to delay or to slow walk $400 million in military aid. That is the accusation as I understand it. I invite any of you to clarify any of those points, but that's what we're talking about today. That's what's got Nancy Pelosi excited. That's what's got 170 Democrats, House Democrats excited. And this is why we're talking about impeachment again, right? For like the 6th, 7th, 8th, I can't even count how many times, right? Right? Which none of them stuck, right? So here we are. So, okay, political motivation, right? All right. Let's walk it through. A U.S. flag draped LGM swatting with, let's talk about history, right? History. So the Colleen McCullough novel. History. The history on this is absolutely terrible. We've only had 2 impeachments. One, it was Andrew Jackson. It took 2 attempts to impeach him, right? And then it was Bill Clinton, and that one is a hot mess, right? So Bill Clinton beat the impeachment. He wasn't even like, it didn't amount to anything. And now, right, we look back and the Democrats were like, this is completely politically motivated and no one should be should be saying these terrible things about Bill Clinton. And now we look back and we're like, oh man, maybe that whole 1998 Bill Clinton situation was just as bad as the Republicans had said it was, right? There's an absolutely new meaning about the impeachment trials of 1998 after 2016 Twitter Me Too movement, right? Bill Clinton don't look the same, right? That impeachment does not look like that one didn't work, and now people are like, oh, maybe that should have worked, right? Like, it's completely different. The history is horrendous on this, all right? Let's talk about little green men, right? I have talked about this on my channel. I'll tell you right now, Americans do not give 2 rat's tails about Ukraine, right? And here's why, okay? This blows my mind. I love President Obama. I voted for him twice. He was a great president. He made some massive mistakes, and I'm about to talk about a massive mistake that dealt with Ukraine. In 2014, I'm not kidding, Vladimir Putin, the leader of Russia, took little green men. You will find an article on Wikipedia called Little Green Men. They are the unmarked U.S. soldiers that invaded Crimea in 2014, right? So, 2014, Vladimir Putin pulls the insignia off of his soldiers, invades Crimea, which is in Ukraine, right? Invades them, boots on the ground, right? President Obama's like, Vladimir, did you just invade Crimea? Like, and Putin goes, no, President Obama, I absolutely did not invade Crimea. Literally a year later, Vladimir Putin's like, I totally invaded Crimea. It's ours now. And we are telling the whole world that you Americans are weak and will allow invasion anywhere we choose. And all we have to do is lie to you. Like, that's Vladimir Putin. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, he invaded Crimea. And the Dems did nothing and do not talk about it to this day, right? So under Dem watch, Crimea, which is in Ukraine, was absolutely invaded, annexed into Russia, right? So how on earth are you going to get the American people under the Dems to care about $400 million in denied military aid? It doesn't matter, right? $400 million, that's Drake's jewelry budget. Are you kidding me? What are you going to get with that? Two fighter jets and a tank? Like, it's ridiculous. Like pressure? $400 million is pressure, right? Like, it's not pressure. Nobody cares about $400 million national government level, right? And American people are certainly not going to care about $400 million of slow-walked military aid to a country they literally watch get invaded, right? That's your LGM, right? The wolf part, we already talked about it. Like, the Dems have cried wolf on impeachment so many times. Americans are not listening. They are not listening, right? So, like, Nancy Pelosi standing here saying, hey, I've told you 50 times for the last 12 months that it's not time to impeach, but it really is time now, super close to the election, right? When Joe Biden is having subconjunctival hemorrhages on national television. Now's the time. It really is. And it's really not politically motivated. Nancy Pelosi is not your hero. She's not going to serve as your hero. She's not. She's worse than Mueller, right? This ain't going to work, right? All right. Biden, here's the next one, right? Boy. Let's get into it. All right. Okay. All right. So basically, you know how you prove that your impeachment, that your official impeachment inquiry is real and not just politically motivated and not just timed to disrupt the election yourself, right? Oh, by the way, the Dems are saying that Donald Trump requesting Ukraine leader Volodymyr Zelensky to open a corruption investigation into Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and then slow-walking $400 million in aid constitutes election interference, right? Okay, let's just get that out of there. Get that out of the way. Put that in place. All right. So let's talk about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, right? So the way that you could make it very clear that your official impeachment inquiry is not politically motivated and is very, very real, as you could say, we're doing two things. We're investigating Donald Trump. And guess what? We're looking into Donald Trump's accusations against Hunter Biden and Joe Biden to see if there was corruption. Because what if it was both? What if there really was corruption on the part of Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, right? Like he's accusing, and he was actually doing election interference? Nope, crickets. Absolutely no Democrats are saying, hey, we want to find out the truth about if there was corruption on the part of Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. I'm not saying there was, but I'm saying if you want people to think your official impeachment inquiry is real, then you should really pay attention to whether the accusations of the person that you're trying to accuse are true or not, right? And the reality is you're hearing nothing. You're hearing crickets. And also, if you pull this rock back and the roaches skitter out, right? What are you going to find in there, right? And that's my issue, is I don't think for 1 second the Democrats want to pull that rock back. Because what if something does skitter out that implicates a major problem in the Democrat in the Democrat Party, right, with some of their people in the middle of an election? It will be a hot mess. It will be an absolute hot mess. All right, so let me hit my mnemonic. Flag draped LGM, swatting with a Colleen McCullough novel, a Wolf Biden, right, who's wearing a Flavor Flav. I hit it all. Right, there you go. Like, this is not going to matter. Americans don't care about Volodymyr Zelensky. Americans don't care about Ukraine, right? They're not our ally. They're not. Like, we sat by and ate pizza, right, while they were invaded. America's put boots on the ground, like under Kennedy, under LBJ, under Nixon, under Eisenhower. We put boots on the ground for less, right? But in Ukraine, when Russia invaded, America did not care. Same thing here. Americans don't care about Volodymyr Zelensky. Americans don't care about the Ukraine. Americans certainly don't care about $400 million in military aid. That's Drake's jewelry budget. $400 million bucks. It's a rounding error. Who cares, right? Like, and the reality is, and the other issue is, I don't think the Dems have the stomach for an actual investigation, because if you pull that rock back, right, you might find exactly what Trump what Trump did, but frankly, I think you're going to find a lot of stuff on the Democrat side too. And I do not think for 1 second the Democrats have a stomach to do both, to actually deal with everything they find when they pull that rock back, right? And that's issues. That's it. All right, now let's talk about Andrew Yang. What does this mean for Andrew Yang? So one, Andrew Yang has already spoken on this. What did he say, right? So Andrew Yang said, "Oh, I support impeachment, right?" And he's like, "I think it's time, right?" Now, why does that not matter for Yang supporters? Here's why. One, I think Yang was agreeing with everybody at the party, right? So if you're at a party and everybody's like, let's play Pictionary, and your paramour wants to play Pictionary, and all your friends want to play Pictionary, and, you know, the dude delivering the pizza is like, yeah, Pictionary, like, then you're going to be like, yeah, let's play Pictionary. And that's exactly what I think Andrew Yang is saying with impeachment. Andrew Yang don't care about impeaching Donald Trump. He wants to beat him, right? Like, and I think he's smart enough to know this ain't going nowhere. This ain't going nowhere. Because the Democrats don't have the stomach to do it, right? They just, like, this is going to be hard. It's going to be a bumpy road, right? And it takes more than, ding, impeachment's ready, right? Like, it's just, no, right? The timing, the history, the international complexities, none of this is going to motivate Americans. Americans can barely understand it, and it certainly doesn't drive them toward a desire for impeachment, right? And Nancy Pelosi's already communicated that if you try to impeach and you fail, the pain what you pay is so painful, so incredibly painful, right? So I think Yang is a Democrat. I totally get that. I understand that, and I think he's supporting this so that he doesn't stand out among the Democrats. But I don't think he really cares about it. I think he's just like, yeah, let's play Pictionary. Right? And the reality is, I think Andrew Yang is hyper-focused on beating Biden, beating Sanders, beating Elizabeth Warren. They're the only standing opponents that he has left. He's got the momentum of a freight train, and I really think that he doesn't give two rat's tails for impeachment. And I'll tell you I don't think for 1 second that Andrew Yang cares about Ukraine, cares about Volodymyr Zelensky, cares about $400 million in slow-walked military aid for a country we watched get invaded, right? Andrew Yang does not care about it. Andrew Yang is laser-focused, in my opinion, on the task of defeating Biden, defeating Sanders, defeating Warren, the only remaining standing opponents he has left. And I think that's the true focus. And so, I will say I have incredible sympathy for the Democrats, because the reality is it's hard to watch them go down this road again. And this time it's going to be Volodymyr Zelensky impeachment. Oh, it didn't matter, right? Like, it's just like we've just seen this too many times before. All that's my opinion. I'm more than willing to hear your take on it. Anywhere you think I was wrong, let me know. I want to know the facts on this. I want to get my facts right. Fill up those comments if I got anything wrong, or if you think there's a different take on this. I'd love to hear your take. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.